Welcome back to the CryptoFather channel. Today is the 22nd of July, and apparently Sailor wants more of your money so he can buy more Bitcoin for himself. It's so bizarre. MicroStrategy, they're releasing a new IPO, hoping to generate more profits for themselves in order to purchase more Bitcoin. And people, instead of buying Bitcoin outright, will be investing into the strategy company in hope to receive more exposure to Bitcoin, which they could just be doing simply by purchasing Bitcoin. Oh, the oddity. But before I get to talking about all of this, let's have a quick look at the markets. The market broke above $4 trillion just yesterday. We're seeing a bit of a retracement today. Trading volume stands at $258 billion. Bitcoin is presently kind of just teetering at around the $117,000 price tag. Ethereum is at $3,754. I just saw an article saying somewhere that XRP, 99% of XRP holders should be in profit. By now, XRP is at $355. Solana, 196, pushing for that $200. Very nice. Cardano is at 88 cents. Even Alex Becker is pushing Cardano. So Cardano should be on your buy list. Most definitely. As much as Hedra and Sui and Chainlink, obviously, some of these coins are American made, and so that's a big deal. Right now in the States, Trump is pushing to have a collection of American made coins, cryptocurrencies, as he's trying to make the States the digital hub of the world. Avalanche will be another one. Litecoin at $116. I think it broke the $120 price tag. It just retraced a little bit. Now Poundcoin at $3.30. Polkadot still not up to $5, man. Polkadot should be flying. Polkadot is another coin on the Made in America token list or coin list. Picoin remains on the 46th place. Quick look at Meowcoin. Meowcoin's standing at about quadruple 06, I think, right now. Varies on different exchanges, but yeah, quadruple 064. This is where it was basically. It kind of hovered around there at the same market cap of $485,000. Remember, it was at $600,000 and now it retraced because Bitcoin is stalling. Once Bitcoin starts pumping, Meowcoin is going to be dumping. Quick look at the charts. Bitcoin is stalling on the weekly. Okay, let's go to the daily. Bitcoin is stalling between the Fibonacci resistance of 121,000 and the support of 117,000. So we had Bitcoin break above the top resistance here, and now it's bouncing off the support here on this level. So it's forming a trending channel here along these two price lines. Ethereum broke well above three resistance lines on the daily that I talked about before, and right now it's forming a bullish hammer. But on the weekly, it's also broken above these three resistance levels, and a third candle has formed, which is going to take 6 days. So I think we're going to see Ethereum push all the way up to the $4,000 over the next week. Although I do see a bit of a retracement, we could probably come down on this candle. We could probably come down somewhere over here between these levels before continuing the move up. The total market cap for altcoins is at $1.52 trillion. We're coming close to the all-time high for the altcoin market cap, which is standing at $1.7 trillion. And Ethereum obviously is leading that race. Bitcoin to pass 125,000 this month, Polymarket bettors predict. Now let's have a quick look here at the channel again. In order for Bitcoin to make that leap, it has to break above this resistance and then basically make its way to the next one at 128. And if it does break above this resistance, I think then we could definitely see Bitcoin go all the way to 128,000, not even that. So I guess we're gonna have to wait and see. But according to the poll, 34% of Polymarket bettors believe that Bitcoin will cross the $125,000 threshold by the end of July. Now remember that these are just bets, okay? These are just people gambling on the speculation, on the prediction market, hoping that Bitcoin will go to a certain level. Of course, nothing is given, and this is probably just as valid of a prediction as any other that I can spew out on this channel based on my charts, because of course other people have predictions of saying, you know, 125,000 of course is a lot closer than 150,000, so of course the percentage of people betting on this will be smaller than betting on the higher price tag, because they tend to make some money. So these are just really insignificant predictions. I don't think that poly market should be dictating people's perceptions of where the price will go or the future of cryptocurrencies, or certainly not your investment decisions. Trump Media discloses 2 billion Bitcoin holdings as Congress approves key crypto legislation. Trump Media and Technology Group, the parent company of Truth Social, revealed it has amassed roughly 2 billion worth of Bitcoin and related digital assets, expanding on an investment strategy disclosed earlier this year. And breaking strategy, MicroStrategy just announced an IPO of 5 million shares of STRC. The money will be used to buy more Bitcoin. There is an investor presentation video on YouTube that you could watch that is led by Saylor and the CEO Feng Li. And in this presentation, they talk about, I guess, what the STRC, or stretch as they call it, new release of these new shares is, in order to persuade your money into their pockets. And I know it sounds cynical, but it's just so bizarre to me that this company continues to sell shares and, you know, push the idea of owning Bitcoin and buying Bitcoin, but at the same time Saylor is anti self-custody and suggests to you that you should spend your money on his projects, on his wishes and desires, on him becoming a billionaire rather than you holding Bitcoin in your own right. Because I mean, in the long run, right, the idea, like what we hear everywhere, is that Bitcoin, people who will hold Bitcoin will be able to use it for as collateral for this, collateral for that, and Bitcoin will go to the moon and be worth millions of dollars per Bitcoin. But if you don't hold Bitcoin, then none of this will be true for you. If you do invest into strategy, into one of its multiple assets, multiple shares that have been released, rather than Bitcoin itself, then you will be receiving some derivatives. You'll be receiving probably some benefits from his company increasing in value based on the back of Bitcoin that he purchased with your money, while you hold IOU notes in his company. You know, while the IOU notes rise in price, he will be using Bitcoin to as collateral for other things, while you just receive the driblets from those profits. So it's just such a bizarre, scammy proposal. Anyway, that's what's happening in the strategy world. And I think this is like, which IPO is this now? This is another, how many shares? He's got like 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now there's going to be a fifth one. Basically, a fifth share is going to be added to this stock, STRC stretch. So we've got MSTR, STRD, STRK, STRF, and now STRC. It just doesn't stop. I bet there's going to be another one, just so he can come up with another scheme to siphon money out of people's pockets into his own, so he can buy more Bitcoin. The daily strategy buys 740 million in Bitcoin. Trump Media Bitcoin stash hits 2 billion, and BitGo files for an IPO. A crypto custodian, BitGo, has confidentially filed for a US IPO, joining firms like Circle, Grayscale, and Bullish in tapping capital markets as crypto sentiment improves under Trump's administration. The firm didn't disclose offering size or valuation, but it reportedly safeguards over 100 billion in digital assets across 120 plus tokens. BitGo's move comes after a failed 1.2 billion acquisition by Galaxy Digital in 2022, followed by years of litigation. So another IPO coming your way. Is Bitcoin and Ethereum treasury company bubble forming? Yeah, in a way, I think it might be, and it will burst once we reach a certain level of profitability from all the buys, and these companies will begin to sell. And of course, the bubble will implode or explode. Whatever the case may be, prices will come down eventually. The NFT market surges past 6 billion as blue chip collections lead the rally. NFTs are not dead. They were dormant, but they're not dead. Once the bull market starts, of course, people will be looking for all kinds of ways of making money, and the money will be filtering through the stages like it has in the past. We will have the high caps, the medium caps, and then the low caps. And of course, NFT markets and gaming. All of these coins are going to be pumping. The capitalization on the non-fungible token segment surpassed 6 billion, up 28% in the past 24 hours. Daily sales in the sector jumped 191% to 46 million, according to Crypto Slam. We're going to see another stupid price tags for silly NFT, pixelated pictures like we did in the past. The rise in demand coincided with the strengthening of Ethereum and Solana. Ethereum, the second largest cryptocurrency by market capitalization, reached a 225 high of 3,800, while Solana rose $190. And while these continue pumping, people will continue dumping money into the NFTs because, of course, on the back of Solana and Ethereum, value of these NFTs will be rising as well. The trigger for the growth of the NFT sector was also a major purchase on OpenSea. An unknown investor purchased 45 NFTs from the CryptoPunks collection, spending more than 2,080 ETH, about 7.8 million. This transaction drew the attention of both individual collectors and institutional participants as it demonstrated significant confidence in top-tier NFT assets. The purchase also contributed to renewed momentum across NFT marketplaces, which increased trading activity and notable rises in the value of flagship collections. Pudgy Penguins may be on the menu as well. It's not being mentioned here, but Pudgy Penguins is something that you need to keep in mind because it has been promoted by Justin Sun, and apparently Pudgy Penguins is on the talking agenda recently, so I personally picked up some Pudgy Penguins on the exchanges. Is altcoin season incoming? Here's all you should know. The altcoin season index has risen to 51, signaling transition from Bitcoin dominance to altcoin momentum. Bitcoin dominance is dropping. We're presently at 58.5% in Bitcoin dominance, and ETH is at 11.4%. The rest is all altcoins. Google searches for altcoins just hit a 4-year high, indicating rising retail interest in the crypto market. Total 2 has broken out of a bullish channel, echoing past alt season and signaling strong altcoin momentum. Total 2 obviously is the market cap for the altcoins, which, like I said, is nearing its all-time high of 1.7 trillion. Trader dumps asset after turning $100 into 2 million. Now, this is hard to believe. It does occur occasionally, but please, whenever you see articles like that, don't let them, or headlines like this, don't let them get to your head, because this would be a 1 in a million or maybe 1 in 2 million shot. Bitcoin turns a trader into a millionaire before he calls it quits. This trader seems to have reaped 20% returns on their investment over 13 years. So we're looking at a $100 investment held over 13 years. Obviously, Bitcoin 13 years ago, Bitcoin was worth peanuts. So again, like I said, this is 1 in a million. Not too many addresses held on to their Bitcoins purchased 11 or 13 years ago, right? But it's nice to see stories like that, of course, it's good for the dream world. Ethereum leads record $4,390,000,000 inflows in institutional crypto products on CoinShares. Ethereum definitely stole the show for institutional investment into digital asset products last week. According to the latest digital asset fund flows report, institutional digital asset investors poured record amounts into ETH exchange traded products last week, hence the massive pump on Ethereum. And of course, everybody's piling in on Ethereum right now. Ethereum attracted a record 2.12 billion in inflows, nearly double its previous record of 1.2 billion. The past 13 weeks of inflows now represent 23% of Ethereum AUM assets under management, with 2025 inflows already exceeding the full year total of 2024 at 6.2 billion. That's massive. Bitcoin products also enjoyed huge inflows of 2.2 billion. Meanwhile, Solana, XRP, and Sui exchange traded funds experienced inflows of 39 million, 36 million, and 9.3 million respectively. So a lot of money flowing into those ETFs. Again, they're not actually holding the crypto. According to Bitcoin Archive, there's only 5.3% of Bitcoin left to be mined. One day there will be none, and that's true. But I mean, who knew? That's very fast. Bitcoin is meant to spread out over the next couple of decades still. The next Bitcoin halving will produce even fewer Bitcoins per block mined, and it's going to continue for the foreseeable future, which is why we should probably see a massive rise in Bitcoin prices based on supply and demand, which is going to diminish over time excessively, particularly with the stupefying craze that's going on right now with treasury companies trying to accumulate as much Bitcoin as they possibly can. And the UK is looking to sell gargantuan 7 billion sized Bitcoin stockpile to fix budget hole. I'm not sure if right now is the best time to be selling Bitcoin, but the United Kingdom's Home Office, the nation's interior ministry, is eyeing the sale of seized crypto assets on a bid to fill a deficit in the government's budget. Such a sale could potentially dent a recently renewed Bitcoin and crypto strong upsurge. I don't know, 7 billion, obviously that's a huge chunk of money, but when you look at the market cap, it might not prove to be that big of a dent when Michael Saylor is picking up tons of Bitcoin on a daily. While the total amount of all crypto confiscated by the UK is still unclear, the stockpile consists of at least 61,000 Bitcoin worth about 7 billion, seized from a 2018 Chinese Ponzi scheme. This makes the UK the holder of the third largest Bitcoin stash among countries that own the alpha cryptocurrency. A woman was jailed for 6 years and 8 months in 2024 for her role in laundering 150 Bitcoin on behalf of a Chinese woman linked to the theft. Offloading the UK's vast Bitcoin holdings could help with a $22 billion budget gap due to rising borrowing costs and slow growth. UK authorities typically keep 20 to 30% of seized assets divided between law enforcement budgets and government funds, while the Crown Prosecution Service has requested permission from the High Court to retain the confiscated coins, with the proceeds then being allocated to the Treasury. Victims have requested that the funds be returned to them. Of course they should be, but of course they won't be, because all of these UK authorities will be pocketing a sizable chunk of them for themselves, because why the heck not? Quick reminder, Crypto and Millennials is out now, ready for pre-order. The book will become available on September 1st. I don't think I can make it any earlier, despite the fact that the manuscript is already in, it's there. So pick it up, reserve it for yourself, go over to Amazon, follow the link below the video, hit the pre-order button with one click, $11, well spent money, educate yourself on cryptocurrencies. Also, don't forget to pick up a Descent wallet. Stash your crypto in a Descent wallet, a biometric Descent wallet. You get a $30 discount with the ref link below the video, and you get a $99 discount if you purchase 2 of them. $30 discount on 1, $99 discount on 2. Pick it up right now, links below the video. Make sure to smash the likes on this video, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you tomorrow. Have a fantastic Tuesday. See you on Wednesday. Peace.